In terms of the sources that we have to reconstruct this history today, um,
Mhm.
I mean, specifically looking at the epigraphic evidence, which has been incredibly crucial to reconstructing an image of pre-Islamic Southern Arabia.
Mhm.
How does the epigraphic evidence specifically avoid the issues that are present in sort of post-Islamic literary sources? And are there inherent issues also in the epigraphic evidence that also limit its objectivity and its ability to reconstruct history for us?
Definitely. I mean, it depends on how you, well, first of all, how you interpret the term history. I mean, there's two ways of looking at this: history as a kind of chronological overview of historical facts between a point A and a point B throughout time, or this is the Francis Fukuyama approach to history. Obviously, history as a kind of ideological framing, right? Why do certain events happen? Um, and the epigraphic corpus, of course, has its own problems, especially what we call the monumental inscriptions. So these are inscriptions that were often written by kings, the ruling class, the priestly class, and so on. Now, this is not from South Arabia, but there's a very relatively famous inscription detailing a battle between the Egyptians, I believe, led by Ramses III, and the Hittites. Now, both the Hittites and the Egyptians mention this, and they both claim that they won. Each side claims that they won the battle. So obviously, a big problem of these, or perhaps not a big problem, but one thing to consider when it comes to these political inscriptions, is that they were written by rulers often to project a certain ideal view of the world, um, which may not always accurately fully represent the facts on the ground. Now, the big advantage, obviously, I think, when it comes to when we compare these to the Islamic period sources, is that they were written at the time. Right? So they're contemporaneous to the events that they're describing. And they were written one of the things that we've also talked about is that later Muslims were not really able to access these sources, right? So they were not able to check, let's say, their view or understanding of history to the inscriptions themselves.